Tonight on The Edge, the rebuilding of the Holly Hotel has been halted. The historic structure burned over a year ago, and the owners have faced one challenge after another as they work to reopen.
And the battle over rebuilding comes down just to a few inches. Fox News' Dave Spencer tells us about the feud with a neighboring property.
There are people of all ages waiting to see what will happen to the Holly Hotel next.
Made this entire battle alley.
Pretty much gone, so I lost my chance this year. They said there was an arcade there.
Why do you want to see it rebuilt?
Because it got burned.
The hotel and the arcade, which stood in this now vacant lot, were damaged in a fire back in June of 2022. The owner, George Cutlenio, started to rebuild in December, but in March, the ownership of the vacant lot changed hands, and the new owner, Jeremiah Roberts, took issue with the property line.
The building has been there for 140 some years, over a century, and the arcade was there even longer. So, I mean, the property lines were kind of established when those two buildings were built, a century and a half ago.
Back in 1891, when the hotel was constructed, it really butted up against the arcade that used to be here. In fact, it went over the property line in some places by an inch, 7 inches in others. And then there's the issue of the roof that goes over the property line by a good 14 inches. And according to the hotel owner, that's a real issue for the owner of the vacant lot.
He wanted us to cut off the eaves in case in the future he built a taller building there.
The two sides tried for months to reach a compromise.
When the meeting was just about over, he kind of folded up his notebook and he said, well, how about I just sell you that 14 inches? And I basically stated, so this is what this is all about. You were just looking for a payday.
Which pushed George Cutlenios to file a lawsuit and left the hotel in this condition.
It looks horrible, honestly. Just sitting there, it makes the town look sad.
It hurts everybody. I mean, there's a reason why stores are closing.
Adam Fries opened the Fur Baby Boutique in March and was counting on the hotel.
The draw that the restaurant brings, we'd easily see a 20 to 30% increase in foot traffic just for the restaurant alone.
We reached out to Jeremiah Roberts, the owner of the lot, who told me this, quote, "Unfortunately, most of the information out there regarding the Holly Hotel is false. I am unable to comment further at this time." The hotel owner is convinced the law is on his side, but admits it may take a while for this issue to resolve. In Holly, Dave Spencer, on The Edge.
Lakefront homeowners in Hamburg Township are working to protect their property from floodwaters. Sky Fox right there was over Ore Lake today. Recent storms caused lake water levels to rise, and now the water is up to people's homes. Normal rainfall for Hamburg Township during August is about 3 inches. So far, they've received more than 9 inches. The flood warning isn't set to expire, though, until the end of the day on Saturday.
Idalia pounds Florida's Gulf Coast, arriving as a Category 3 hurricane. Florida's Big Bend region took the brunt of it, with winds nearly 125 miles per hour. Over 430,000 people in Florida and Georgia have lost power because of the storm. Seawater in towns like Cedar Key rose as high as 9 feet. At least 2 people are dead because of this storm.
We do have some counties up in the Panhandle that are, in the Big Bend area that have 80, 90, 98% of the power is shut off. We do have crews working on that right now. We're bringing stuff back online just as fast as we possibly can.
Idalia has moved on to impact much of the southeast, bringing intense flooding to Charleston, South Carolina as well.
And we know that Idalia won't move over back onto the ocean until tomorrow.
Yes, more threats down there through the Carolinas, especially. Around here, though, it was a cooler day today, but beautiful sunshine, especially for the second half of the afternoon. And we have plenty of sunshine heading into the weekend. How about a moon? Do we have a moon?
Super moon.
There it is.
Social media's darling tonight. Everyone's talking about this.
These are live pictures from right here in Southfield. This is the super moon. Pretty amazing. Looks great out there, that's for sure. It was bigger, a couple of hours ago, but as it gets higher in the sky, the moon is going to get a little smaller. That's just the physics of how the moon works. Let's talk about our long, dry stretch. For the next 5, 6, 7 days, really. You can see the back edge of the clouds. I should say that that's how optics work. It's not really a function of the moon. The moon is the moon. It's the optics that make it look bigger. So scratch what I said earlier. Let's talk about the Huron River out near Hamburg. Highest level today. The levels will slowly be falling tomorrow, and then Sunday morning, those river levels in and around Hamburg will be below flood stage. All right, let's talk about what's left of Idalia now. Tropical storm centered near Charleston, South Carolina. Still plenty of rain through the Carolinas. Coastal erosion concerns, flooding concerns, but further weakening is expected over the next 12 to 18 hours. How about the daytime highs for us? 69 here today. A good chunk of Michigan stayed in the 60s. The exception, Grand Rapids, they made it to 72. Here are your averages for the end of August, 79 and 61. So yes, it's cool out there. Already 49 in Lapeer, heading lower. 51 Ann Arbor, heading lower. 52 over in Windsor. The breeze is very light, but the flow is from the north and east, and that's going to drive some numbers down into the upper 40s. How about Cadillac right now? 44 degrees, 60 in Cincy, 60 in Chicago, 51 up there in Marquette. We have high pressure parked over the Great Lakes. This high moves very slowly off to the east and southeast. So once this reaches the eastern seaboard on the backside, it is going to turn a lot warmer for Saturday and especially Sunday and Labor Day Monday. You'll see it all in the 7-day forecast. There's that super blue moon. Overnight low on average near 50 degrees. That's the overnight low. Tomorrow, a lot of sunshine, very pleasant afternoon, 73, but notice where those temperatures are going up. 76 Friday, 85 Saturday, close to 90 for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. We're going to check it again starting at 4 a.m. Taryn, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Rich. Well, just in time for the upcoming cooler months, Consumers Energy is raising rates on your gas bill. According to the utility company, a typical customer will see an increase of $4.20 on their bill starting in October. This comes after the Michigan Public Service Commission approved a $95 million rate increase during its commission meeting today. Consumers originally asked for an increase of $212 million, so this is significantly less. Consumers was also granted a gas rate increase last year, and that was for $170 million. Consumers claims the new increase will go toward replacing thousands of lines that connect main arteries to homes and businesses.
Well, it's an welcome week for some members of the University of Michigan community. Police are now investigating several home break-ins.
They occurred at off-campus housing near the university. Fox 2's Dave Kinchin has more from Ann Arbor.
It's just kind of overwhelming. We've just moved in and now we have to worry about this.
Chloe Erickson, one of many U of M students finding themselves a bit shaken by a rash of home burglaries across Ann Arbor, most of which seem to have taken place in student rentals near downtown. Police telling Fox 2 that in most cases, the crook is getting in through unlocked first floor windows using a knife to slice into the window screen.
I'll definitely be more aware knowing this. It's unfortunate to know that this is happening and we might not be as safe as we feel.
Investigators say they took reports of 6 incidents in the past 2 days, including on the 500, 600, and 800 blocks of Catherine Street, also the 1000 block of Prospect and 700 block of Dewey Avenue.
I had no idea, too. This is the first time I'm hearing of it. I live right across the street, so.
On the 100 block of State Street, cops say a woman confronted the bad guy in a bedroom at night. She was not hurt.
I haven't seen anything around, nobody prowling around or anything.
So it's kind of disturbing?
Yeah, I'd say so.
The suspected thief got away with an iPhone, Bluetooth speaker, and some cash taken off through the front door, according to detectives.
I think just like heightened security in student housing, especially because we're renting, we don't have the opportunity to provide that for ourselves. I know that like one of my other rental companies suggested installing Ring doorbells and stuff like that could be an option, but yeah, I mean, these are old houses and they have old systems, so I see why they would get targeted.
The normally fun-filled first week of classes in a college town is extra stressful this time around.
We just got back from school, or back to school, and I don't know. It's kind of crazy that it's happened on Catherine Street, and I had no idea.
Well, thankfully, police say they're working on this case and closing in. They have identified a person of interest. In Ann Arbor, Dave Kinchin on The Edge.
A few blocks down the road in Ann Arbor, police had their hands full with a combative man who was denied entry to Necto nightclub. We're told on Saturday night, 19-year-old Gino Hurd of Detroit actually bit an employee's testicles when he was told he couldn't come in. A second employee was also bit by the suspect, and an officer was hurt during the arrest. Hearn was charged with several counts of assault and given a $25,000 bond.
Definitely saw a lot of underclassmen kind of walking around campus, not really knowing what to do, not where their classes were, and couldn't find the buildings.
It seemed like cellular services were also kind of overloaded, so it was hard to find places. Like, we didn't have access to Google Maps, etc.
Tonight, U of M is back on the grid with internet access restored on all campuses. A security concern had prompted the university to shut off internet services on Sunday right before the fall semester began. It caused quite the disruption for students with Wi-Fi out and an overwhelmed cellular network. But tonight, internet connectivity is back. The legal fight over a controversial cell tower on top of a Wyandotte elementary school could finally be over.
But parents aren't happy about this, and here's why. You know, for months, parents have been clashing with the school district over concerns for their children's health. Now a judge has dismissed a lawsuit filed by parents that was keeping the cell tower turned off for the time being. Parents vow that they will continue to fight for the safety of their kids.
I don't think something like this drastic should be on a building for children. I mean, there's other opportunities. What about the school board education? We have fields in this city that we could do this.
This decision, while obviously not in our favor, it really did wake up a sleeping giant here in Wyandotte. Our group is strong and vocal, and we're going to continue to fight.
The Wyandotte School District and T-Mobile entered into a lease agreement to build the 5G tower on Washington Elementary School's smokestack back in 2018.